Carson Spade. A Fake Wife for the Cowboy Billionaire. By Sophie Devon. Chapter 1. Come on down to Big Clem's baby barn and pick out a new bassinet for your little cowboy, a hearty voice burbled through the car radio. The first 100 mothers get a free pack of diapers. Carson Spade switched off the car radio to cut off the obnoxious voice mid-ball. He adjusted one shoulder, loosened his collar, and pulled his gleaming Jaguar off the highway and curved up the off-ramp outside the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. To his dismay, even the billboards flashing past on the side of the road were screaming baby, baby, baby. Hey you there buddy, why aren't you married yet? Most guys have at least one kid by your age, Jack. Having a hard time holding on to a woman? Carson ran a hand through his head of sleek black hair, and slowly the exit ramp signs reverted to their normal look. It was just possible that he might be interpreting the toy store and amusement park billboards through the filter of his irritation. He was the third Spade brother, and the oldest who was still single. Still, he hadn't expected that his two older brothers getting married would result in all eyes turning to him after. He was surprised by how fast it happened too. It seemed he was the only one around the ranch who wasn't worried about him settling down. Carson, my cousin's going to be in town this weekend. Will you help me show her the sights? Hey Carson, I saw Janine O'Leary at the post office yesterday. Didn't you and her used to date in high school? How old are you now, Carson? Carson grumbled under his breath and shifted into second gear. He didn't share Buck and Morgan's religious faith, but he was almost tempted to cross himself when he imagined what they were plotting for him. It was time for a vacation from the family. He stopped at the light and flicked his turning signal. When he searched his own heart, he could truthfully say that he was glad that Buck and Morgan were happy. Marriage seemed to suit them. He was fond of his nieces and nephews. They were good kids. But it was nevertheless true that things had changed. Radically. Carson turned onto the main drag outside the airport and moved into the right-hand lane. Only a few short years ago, the Seven Ranch house had been a comfortable, if not always civilized, bachelor cave. It was perfect for parties, and he'd thrown quite a few that had lasted into the wee hours of the morning. Not one of his brothers had opened his mouth to complain, even though some of them hadn't approved. His privacy had been near total. He'd stayed gone as often as he'd stayed home, and only Buck had the nerve to quiz him about where he'd been. Even that had only been because Buck thought it was his job to know everything that was going on with the family.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?